baby. You're so beautiful. I am beautiful. I love myself. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Better and better. Better, better. Better. I wish the phone. Oof. Oh, God. Hello. Hi, love. How are you? How's your day going? You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're in love with you. I love that. Today we are talking about self-love, like being you, loving you, taking care of number one, right? Today is about self-love. If you want to solve problems in your life, every problem in your life, if you want to solve every goddamn problem in your life, it begins with loving yourself. You cannot tell me otherwise. It's choosing yourself over and over and over and over and over. Self-love is number one. Hi, Will. Hi, Diego. Hi, Dr. Jonathan. Hi, Chris. Hi, incredible, unbelievable. Happy Valentine's. All of you, happy Valentine's. From Bangladesh, happy Valentine's. Mirabel, Myron B. Hello, hello. Hi, Adreno Duck, Enlightenment. Nice to see you. Happy Valentine's. Today we are talking about self-love, loving yourself. You know, you may not have a Valentine's, but if you are your own Valentine and you love yourself, you can solve every problem that you have. You cannot compare yourself with anybody. You don't have to compare your achievements with anybody. Uh, just love you. Just love you and accept yourself as who you are. Hello, Marcelo. I had a beautiful day. I stayed home. My Valentine was just stay home. Love is responsibility. Son, tell us about that. Love is responsibility. Hey, beautiful. Me, I'm at home. I'm single. I'm single. I'm still single. Whoa. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Today we are talking about loving yourself, even when you don't have a Valentine's. Be your own Valentine, choosing yourself over and over, choosing yourself over and over again, because because son, son says love is war. Who are you fighting with? Who are you fighting with? Michael Jackson said, "You're a lover, not a fighter. Why are you in war?" Constantine says, I live in a cardboard box and I love myself. Wow, I love that. I love that. You're not comparing yourself with anybody. You know, some people can live in mud houses, some people can live in mansions. You can live in your own cardboard box and still love yourself. I love that. Love is, love life is very rough. Son, sons, oh. uh, I got fed up loving myself. So yeah, I need someone to love just for a new experience. That is Golden Blade. I mean, you can never get enough of self-love. That's what I believe. And it's okay to love others, because when you are able to love others, that shows a lot. That shows, you know, when they say you cannot give something you don't have, if you don't love yourself, you're not able to love any other person. And I think that's a good sign. When you say, I love myself and I want to love others, it means like your cup is full and overflowing. And that's why you're able to be like, okay, let me share this love with somebody else. That's a good sign. Happy Valentine's, Meran Bays. For Valentine's just for me. Oh, love you, love you, love you too. Happy Valentine's. Sitora, oh my, you have, oh, love you have. Self-love is number one. Self-love is like good mental health. When I say love, self-love, and when I say mental health is number one, we are talking about the same thing, right? Love to love me too more. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Who's here? Let's see. Good morning, Lauren. How are you? Constantine, I'm adding a second story and pull to my cardboard box soon. You know, you have to love yourself through the ups and downs of life. Even when you're very down, like, you know, life has its own ups and downs. We still gotta love ourselves through the ups and downs. You know, our love has to remain constant. When you're sick, when you have money, when you're broke, when you have friends, when you don't have friends, your self-love gotta remain constant, right? Let me see what you guys have got going on. Fabrice, string love, love. MD Jabois. No girlfriends, no tension. You know, a lot of girls are learning to love themselves, because we have been in this experience where before women were told love is sacrifice, 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 and now they're realizing no, love is self-love. You know, when you value yourself, right, that's what means you naturally expect respect, kindness, honesty, and people often mirror the way you see yourself. I mean, I believe in those mirror neurons. This is 07 Mano at 07 Mano. What you're saying here is so important, so important. You're saying that we have mirror neurons. When somebody smiles at you, you normally smile back because you're mirroring them. And when you treat yourself with love, kindness, and respect, guess what? Other people have to do the same thing. They have to show you love, kindness, and respect. So that is, you have to remember, like, your people will mirror you. So you gotta behave in a way that you expect to be mirrored back. When you're respectful, people will respect you. When you're kind, people will be kind to you. When you treat yourself with love, care, and respect, people will naturally like want to treat you that way. Do I smoke? I don't smoke. Hello. Friends, partners, colleagues, they may come and go, but you live with your thoughts every single day. A healthy inner dialogue changes everything. See, like this is the kind of talk I love. This is exactly what 07 Mano is saying, and I love this because this is so perfectly true. I mean, you can dump people, you can dump your boyfriend, you can dump your girlfriend, you can divorce your wife, you can ghost your friends, but you can't do that with your thoughts. And if the problem is coming from your thoughts, you really gotta know why. You know, whether it's your thoughts, whether you need to put yourself in a more positive environment. Sometimes people are in these negative thoughts because they're taking pain meds, like those benzodiazepines, or, you know, or things like ketamine. You gotta know why you're in that state. Sometimes it's because you're taking drugs that are keeping your nervous system in that kind of like negative thoughts. But if you're not doing drugs and you find yourself you're ruminating, I mean, it's time to kind of seek spiritual advice or go into the country, someplace with fresh air, someplace with, you know, start eating naturally, like good food. You know, you kind of start thinking, what kind of energy am I putting in my body? Am I putting in positivity in my nervous system, whether in terms of thoughts, in the books that I'm reading, the shows that I'm watching, all that. Hello, Torsen from Germany. Hi from Germany. Love to see you. Dakota Wright, hello. MD Jabbar from Bangladesh. Ashok, baby, please comment, baby. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Dakota, I subscribe to you and I hit the like button. Love like Dakota. I love that name, Dakota, too. Am I Ethiopian? No, I'm not Ethiopian. Um, Hi, dear friend, Dubai Life. Hello. King Quattro. Hello. 07 Mano says real confidence isn't about perfection. It's about accepting your strengths, your flaws, growth, journey, and still saying I'm enough. I'd like to have a conversation, I'd like a dialogue with 07 Mano. I'd love to have like, you know, something on this channel, like we can talk about self-love. I feel like you have a very deep understanding of mental health, which is the kind of conversations I love to have with people personally, because I know everybody is on a journey. Manju, happy Valentine's Day. You say big story, good. Say, when you love yourself, you don't chase validation. You choose what aligns with your values, peace, and long-term happiness. You know, this is what I keep telling people, and sometimes people don't get. Like, I quit my job because my boss was rude to me. I could have stayed in that environment and validated them to treat me badly and talk to me like in a disrespectful tone. It was the tone that I did not like. It wasn't even what he was saying, it's the tone, the disrespectful tone. And I told him, you know, I don't need your job, you can do it yourself. And I left. And I love because of disrespect. And this is what Mano is saying. You love yourself, you don't chase validation. You choose what aligns with your values. Like my values are being treated with respect and kindness. And I don't compromise on people treating me with respect and kindness, because I'm a grown enough person. I can walk away from difficult situations. I can literally walk away. You know, and I decided for my long-term happiness, I will not be around people who don't treat me with respect. I don't care whether you're my boss, you're my husband, you're my boyfriend, you're my, like, it's not gonna happen, right? And that's where the story ends. That's where the story ends. I will not be around people who treat me with disrespect, and that's it. That's about it. You know, and that's it. Like, you get, like, that's it. That's it. And so I will not find myself in places that don't align with my happiness. If somebody is disrespectful, that will be the last time that we are seen together, you know, because it doesn't align with who I am and what I do. And choosing yourself over and over and over, that is self-love, right? Um, I am, greetings from Finland. I am in the US. Um, Love yourself and be calm and be happy. Loving yourself is good mental health because you choose calm and you choose peace. And when you choose love and you choose peace, that is loving yourself. And when you do that, you will choose good mental health. And with the time, you will see like all your decisions that you make, you know, sometimes we make one decisions, it leads to something else, and then it leads to another thing, and then to another thing, and then to another thing. When your foundation is good mental health, you'll make one good decision that leads to another good decision that leads to another good decision, because you're like, my foundation is self-love and self-respect and peace and calm. So you will choose people that bring you calm, peace, and respect, and opportunities that align with those values. And one decision leads to another, and yet another, and yet another. And that is how you eventually create a beautiful life. How you gonna win if you ain't right within? Kin cuatro, I love that, right? How are you going to win if you're not right within? Failure, rejection, setbacks, they hurt less when your self-worth isn't tied to outcomes. Isn't that true? I mean, like, just think about that for one moment. Failure, rejection, setbacks, they hurt less when your self-worth is not tied to the outcomes, because you understand that you're still you. Like, I am still me, even if I don't meet people's expectations. I am still me, and I find value in just being me. Like, and if you do that, you find value in being you. Whatever expectations you have about life, it won't matter that much because you're still you, and you value yourself for who you are, not what you do. You know, somebody ever asked me one time, like, if you value yourself because of the kind of the job that you do, what happens when you're no longer doing that job? Would you still love yourself? You know, we value ourselves sometimes because of our looks. What happens one day you wake up and you don't have those looks? Are you still gonna love yourself? If you love yourself because you have, you know, because you're a married person and you have this family, what happens if you got rejected and you got divorced? Would you still love yourself? This is why self-love is the foundation of good mental health. Loving yourself unconditionally is the good foundation. Like you say, like, if I'm sick, I'm still me. If I'm broke, I'm still me. If I'm rich, I'm still me. If I'm not looking good, I'm still me. You know, it's a great foundation. um, Brother says, "Oh wow, how beautiful!" If not Ethiopian, that means you Eritrean. I'm not Eritrean, my love. Why everybody thinks I'm Ethiopian? That's kind of something I never understand. And then Simo, Kelly, love you. I want to say, loving yourself is not about being perfect or thinking you are better than others. It is about accepting who you are at this moment while you're still working to grow. Love is unconditional. The same way, like, let's say your mother loves you when you were a kid, when you were born. You felt that love from your parents. They didn't love you because of something you had done or any kind of achievement that you have done. They just love you for who you are, right? The same way God loves you just for who you are. The very core of you, he knows that, you know, he loves you the way you are. And your love, the love that you have for yourself, the love that God's loved you, and the love that parents give you, most of that love is unconditional. You know, that love is unconditional, but you have to train your nervous system to love yourself. You have to train your nervous system to love yourself, and you have to train your nervous system to live in peace, to live in a calm environment, to choose things that will bring you peace in the end, because emotional health is all that there is. Emotional health is so important, because emotions, we learn through emotions. And that's why for me, when I tell you I quit my job because my boss was rude, and I didn't have another plan, I didn't have another job, I didn't have anything lined up. And why would I do this? Is because I don't want to be in an environment where people treat me with disrespect, because I love myself. And I have trained my nervous system to not accept disrespect in any way. And that is choosing myself over and over and over and over. And life will give you situations where you have to choose yourself. Maybe you don't smoke and you have friends who are like pressuring you to smoke, and you gotta tell them no. That is choosing yourself again and again and again and again. All these things happen. You train people how to treat you, and by what you tolerate. 100%. 100%. When people understand that this is the kind of person who walks away from disrespect, this is the kind of person who will check you when you disrespect them, they understand, like, oh, you're training your nervous system. And narcissists, they know this. They know how to train you to walk on eggshells. They are doing that to your nervous system because they want you to walk on eggshells. But if you decide, I'm not the kind of person who walks on eggshells, so I was like, you know what? This is your job. You hired me to do this job. But at the point that you're disrespectful, you're gonna have to look for somebody else to do this job, because I work in environments where I'm treated nicely, with respect, where people talk to me nicely. It's just how it goes with me. Like, it's just the way it goes with me. Otherwise, you just have to find your job and do your job by yourself. And this is how you should normalize people. Walk away immediately. I don't care whether it's you're on a date, you haven't paid the bills, you haven't ordered the food, somebody disrespects you, walk away right there and then. Right there and then. Walk away. Walk away. And when you train your nervous system to read, you want to listen to your body, and you want to listen to your nervous system and to your intuition. And when somebody is being disrespectful to you, learn to walk away that minute, that there. Or when you have a bad feeling about something, learn to listen to your intuition. Because your nervous system, a lot of people don't understand, like, your nervous system picks up things even when you're not really concentrating. Like right now, you're watching this. But let me tell you, if something was to happen, like maybe a lion was to just appear out of the blue, or somebody was to try to threaten you in any way, your nervous system would react immediately. Or maybe a snake just passed by, or a rabbit, or something, you are not even thinking about it. You would know, because your nervous system, even if you're concentrating on this like YouTube thing, your nervous system is picking up other information that you're not completely aware of. So when you have a bad feeling, it's because your nervous system has picked up on something. Your nervous system is your number one system of self-defense, and that is what God created in you, to protect you first. Above everything else, God created your nervous system to help you protect you. So when you have a bad feeling about somebody, it's a warning. Your nervous system is trying to communicate to you. When you go into a room and you have a bad feeling that tells you, there's something off about this place, listen to that above everything else, because your nervous system does not lie to you. It's an energy system. It picks up things. It is wired to pick up energy, to pick up small nuances. It is wired that way. It's very intelligent. I tell you, in the whole lifetime, you will never meet anybody as intelligent as you are, because your brain, your nervous system is so deeply wired to be so intelligent. Mano say, when you love yourself, you stop fighting your own mind. You stop replaying mistakes and punishing yourself for things that you are already in the past. Instead, you learn from them and you move forward. You know, and I would love to sit next to you and talk about great topics like self-love. I would love that. Really would love that. This is something about what he said here. We all make mistakes. Remember, like, we haven't been on this planet again. This is our experience right here. Like, you didn't have another life, you didn't have another replay. You know, you go through life, you are a child, then you're an adolescent, you're a young adult, maybe you become a mother, a father, you all the way until you become maybe a grandmother or whatever. We don't do this twice, you know. We have one experience, and that means we are going to make mistakes, because that's how we learn. We learn by making mistakes. We learn by trial and error, making mistakes here and there. And sometimes you will repeat mistakes until you learn from them, because your brain has to do those things. Just remember, like, when you started like writing or reading, you made a lot of mistakes learning how to read and write, and you had to do it over and over and over and over and over until you learn. Now you can, you know, if you were to beat yourself every time you are reading and you didn't get it right, you know, it would just make the process harder. Most kids, they learn how to walk because they're not criticizing themselves. A kid will get hit when they are crawling. They will get bruises when they are crawling. They'll get hurt. You know, by the time they learn how to walk, you know, they have a hard time until they learn how to walk. But they don't criticize themselves over and over, because they're like, you know, like they did not learn how to walk or how to do things. Or talking, they make mistakes when they're talking. When they're learning things, they will say right. They don't pronounce things well, but eventually they learn how to pronounce things well. Now, if they were too ashamed that they are not pronouncing things well, if they were too ashamed that they're not learning to walk immediately, that they keep falling, and they stopped trying, they would not make it. You know, we would not be able to communicate in this language or understand each other. But so when you see shame can stop you. And shame isn't always bad. You need to feel ashamed about things so that you align yourself with society. Imagine if people like child molesters did not have shame, or murderers did not have shame. Shame is a bad thing when it's stopping you from achieving the things that you need to achieve in life. But shame is also a good emotion when it stops you from doing things that are terrible, or that can ruin other people's lives or your life, right? But we do learn from emotions, and emotions are very, very powerful. So for me, I walk away from people who want me to feel shame in places where I should not be feeling ashamed. You know, like, let's say it's a job and somebody's trying to put me down. I am not going to tolerate that behavior, because I know in my heart I'm trying my best in life. Papalito says, baby, I love you. Self-love builds emotional stability. That's why you have to care about your emotions and how you feel. Yeah, when you truly, Princess, you don't have super chat. What's a super chat? Tell me about it. I don't know. I need to get super chat. Tell me about it. When you try to value yourself, when you truly value yourself, criticism does not destroy you, and praise does not define you. You become steady. This is what we are talking about again: steadiness, the nervous system being in homeostasis, in balance. You value that. A lot of time, we become dysregulated. And this is something that you will hear this term over and over when it comes to mental health and self-love. Dysregulation is when your emotions are like this, right? Instead of being steady, there is balance, there is homeostasis. And a lot of times our health begins at homeostasis, at balance, right? And anything you do can kick you out of homeostasis. Let's say you eat too much, you're out of homeostasis. Let's say you need to go to the bathroom and you're not going to the bathroom, you feel like a lot of pressure, you're out of homeostasis. Let's say you're in a bad relationship where somebody is constantly yelling at you, they throw you out of balance, you're out of homeostasis. Good mental health and good health, they start with homeostasis, a state of balance. That emotional balance is self-love. Choosing that emotional balance is self-love. Steadiness, all these things. Pluto says, I'm very nice. That kind of inner security creates peace. That's true. That's steadiness. That's self-love. I'm a writer. Zero Mano is a writer. What I do is write on people's back body, and I ask them to read from their mind. This is how I give magic to my words. All right. Warden Hodek is from the Netherlands. Welcome, welcome. In simple words, loving yourself means being on your own side, choosing yourself, right? Choosing yourself. This is like, yeah, you choose yourself over and over and over and over again. And, you know, and it's not a selfish way to learn what is good for you and choose what is good for you. That is self-love. And when you learn to love yourself, you can learn to love others authentically. You can give genuine love. And yeah, you can't love anyone unless you love yourself first. Why don't you tell me where you're from originally? I'm from Kenya. You might want to look into the kind of, to look into that kind of psychology. I love that you love yourself. There is something incredibly attractive about a woman who knows her worth and does not wait till the world to validate it. I mean, self-love, if you don't love yourself, it is very costly. It is very costly to not love yourself. Yeah, people need to match you. Yeah, people need to align with you. And yeah, you know what, I never liked that kind of, I never ever liked that kind of love that like somebody is chasing. Like, why are we chasing each other? Like, what was the point of me, you chasing and I chasing? You know, it seems like a whole lost waste of energy, right? If somebody gotta chase you or you gotta chase somebody, it's just just tells me that something is off. Like, something is just off. You learn to love with intention by learning how to love yourself first, but not begging. Love is blind. You know, when you learn to love yourself first, you put in boundaries. You put in boundaries on other people and how they can love you. And they got you. Yeah, you put in boundaries on other people and how they gotta love you, and you learn to observe. You all learn to observe if they are showing up the way that you would want them to show up, and if they're not showing up the way that you feel loved, and then you'll just let it go. The power of letting go, the power of walking away, there is a lot of power in that, because you're like, if you're not coming here to love me the way that I love myself, you're coming here to dysregulate me, to bring these ups and downs in my life, and I don't like the ups and downs in my life. I'm really willing to let you go. I'm willing to walk away from this. A lot of people are not willing to hear this, but if you're willing to behave that way, then they have no choice but their behavior has to bend to your will, or they will have to understand that they have to go. They gotta go. Whichever way, you maintain your peace of mind and you will maintain your balance, because guess what? Out of sight, out of mind. When you let people go and you stop over time, give it even 3 weeks, 21 days, the brain starts to forget them and you start learning how to be in peace, right? Because where attention goes, energy flow and neural connections grow. But if the energy is not flowing towards them, when you block people or you let people go, you're not thinking about them, you start weakening the neural connections that attached you to them in your mind. Those neural networks, they start to weaken, because in the world of neural networks, what we don't normally use, we get to lose it. So when you when somebody is out of sight, when you block somebody and you don't want to hear from them and you forget them, your brain will forget them eventually. Your brain will forget them as if they never existed, as if they are dead, even if they are very much alive. Because in the world of neural connections, what we do not use, we lose. So you will forget their talk, you will forget their voice, you forget how, you might even forget how they smelled, you forget the tone of voice, you just will forget even how they used to talk. Eventually that they just disappear. Like, you will not even remember their name at some point. So if they're not bringing you peace, learn to let them go and restore your balance, restore your inner harmony. And that is what we mean by choosing yourself. Silk says, you learn to love yourself by intention, by learning how to love yourself. But in the beginning, love is blind. Pain, uncomfortable, it's life. I didn't recognize you with the hair. Oh, I changed my hair today. Are you a model? Oh, yes, I am. I'm not a model. Just watching you admire yourself makes me want to admire you even more. Oh, thank you, love. The way you choose yourself is incredibly attractive. The psychology of loving yourself is rooted in how you see your own worth. Regulate your emotions and relate to the world. It is not vanity. It is not vanity 100%. It is a healthy internal relationship with yourself. Yeah, choosing to regulate yourself, choosing stability, choosing your own emotional stability is self-love. There is nothing vain about that. You're choosing health. You're choosing health because our emotions are health. And I have a class, Post-Traumatic Bliss. Anybody who wants to learn how to love themselves unconditionally, you can come and take that class. Or if you're lost in life and you need direction, take that class. If you want to learn deep, you want to deep dive into mental health, and you want to come out with a very good foundation, I have this class, Post-Traumatic Bliss. Now it depends on how many guys of you are buying the class, because for me to put up the website, it has to be like $200. So if you want it, it'll have to be at least $200 so that you access the website, because you know it is kind of costly to put up the website and the class. But I have created that class in case you want, or if you want, you and your friends, you want to chip together and get access to that class, fine. But health, mental health is number one. For me, I took a lot of years to get my health together, my mental health together, to kind of get a solid foundation. And I don't want you to waste 10 years like I did, reading books, doing my own research. So I put up that class for somebody who just don't want to have to go through all that. And that's why I put up this website, why I put up this site called Post-Traumatic Bliss, because like most of you know, I lost my parents when I was little, and I struggled with understanding who I am in the universe, where I'm from, who I am, just understanding who you are, and then understanding you need to love yourself and all those things that come. That has been a big struggle. And I don't want you to get lost and lost and lost and lost and lost for years. So I call my class post-traumatic bliss. So you find yourself. At its core, self-love is built on self-acceptance. Psychologically, it means acknowledging your strengths, your flaws, without harsh self-judgment. Stop fighting who you are. Your nervous system relax. You have to learn that art of relaxing. And that's why we do things like meditation. That's why we do breathing exercises. That's why you want to learn to take care of your nervous system. At the very core, if I was to tell you what's the one thing that you can do to learn to love yourself, learn to take care of your nervous system, because your nervous system is the number one system in your body that regulates you, that helps you understand life. And when you learn to bring harmony in your nervous system, when you learn to integrate your nervous system, you're going to actually start feeling lighter, better, and with time, your nervous system will heal. When you don't love yourself or you feel dysregulated, it shows you there's something off with the nervous system. And you feel like something is off and you feel like you're not grounded, but it's your nervous system that is not stable. And you might feel like you're off. It's just your nervous system that is off. And if you don't, the nervous system takes time to heal. The nervous system can take somewhere between 2.5 years to 3 years to, even some people have like 10 years. If they have like messed up their nervous system, they can maybe from a relationship, or you've been taking drugs that are wrong or stuff, the nervous system doesn't heal just like by day, right? Ask anybody who has a problem. Let's say like I went through burnout, right? Burnout takes time to heal, because burnout is your nervous system out of order, completely gone haywire, right? And it's giving up. I went through burnout, so I can tell you that it took me more than 2 years to heal from that burnout. And yeah, I have had people in their stories, like people who take like pain medication, depression medication, and they got hooked to it, and then they had to get out of it. Even when they were doing tapering of that medication, that they got hooked to it, it took them maybe 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years to kind of like heal from it. And I'm telling you, the nervous system needs to be trained. If you're feeling like you're not rooted, you gotta learn things like, breathing meditation, listening to your body, staying still. Your nervous system needs to learn to heal. It has to heal. And you're healing your nervous system. You're learning to regulate that system. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, wait. Give me 1 second then. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I didn't realize it. When you love yourself, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome. Sometimes you have to refresh it, and then it comes back. Loving yourself means having a secure internal base. It is the ability to say, I am worthy, I am human, I can grow, and I deserve respect. You really have to affirm yourself into security. You gotta anchor yourself into that secure nervous system. But you're training your nervous system. And what I do with post-traumatic bliss course, I show you how your thoughts, I show you like the tree, right? I show you like the tree. A tree, you can have two types of tree. You can have a healthy tree and you can have a very weak tree. And it all starts with the environment, with the tree, right? The tree, if you plant a tree in rich soil, then it will fertilize, it has moisture, it has vitamins. Then the tree will have like, the roots will get in all that good nutrients, and it's going to make a very good trunk. The trunk of the tree is going to be very, very secure. Like when the birds come and they try to eat the bark of the tree, they're not gonna break it. When the winds come and they're trying to break the tree, they're not going to break the tree. The wind is not going to break the tree, because you know the tree is rooted in very, very good moisture, and it has like this healthy, strong trunk, so the bugs cannot eat it, the tree, the wind cannot break it. And then you have the top of the tree where you have the branches, you have the leaves, and then you have the fruits. Now think about the environment that you're in. You know, is the environment that you're in helping you love yourself? Because if the environment that you're in is giving you all the nutrients to love yourself, then your emotional life, which is the trunk of the tree, is going to be steady, and you're going to love yourself. And what you do, the top of the tree is the fruits, your actions and your behavior. You know, they are going to be affected by the emotions that you feel. So when you love yourself, you're most likely to choose activities that say I love myself. You're going to choose foods that say I love myself. You're going to choose work that says I matter. You're going to choose friends that say I love you, because your emotional life, right, is very bad. Sometimes you find that people who are at work and they're not performing very well is because at home they don't feel loved and cherished. So their emotional life is not good, and so they're not very steady at work where there's a lot of pressure. Or when you see kids that come from families where they are not treated very well, they don't do well in school, they're not able to make friends in school, and that shows you, because it shows you the environment that they are in is not feeding self-love. Now when you're not a kid, you can choose to stay away from environments that don't feed your self-love. um 331 says you're pretty, you're intelligent. Okay, this would be a good campaign to take care of yourself. Would you marry someone younger than you? Hi. I just love the way you voice out. You're amazing. I can talk all day. I'm flattered now. I love that. Yeah. People, yeah, yeah, exactly. You want to be with somebody who loves themselves, because when somebody intentionally loves themselves, they are intentionally going to make sure that they talk to you in a nice way. You know, they are mindful of their actions. You know, they don't want to hurt your feelings. Somebody who loves themselves is going to be mindful than somebody who doesn't love themselves. And I tell you, you watch on the internet and watch all these stories, whether you're watching any story that you're watching about people on the internet, because there's so many stories, like there are billion stories about people and how they love others. And I want to you pay attention to the very selfish people, the selfish people that treat others in a bad way, right? They're extremely narcissistic people who treat other people the wrong way, right? Those people don't even love themselves. You will see that they don't even love themselves. They just think being selfish is what gets them, but deep down, you will see it's rooted from a place of insecurity. Like they are very, very insecure, and that insecurity drives them to treat people so badly. They will plot to kill their spouses. They will plot to take all their resources and money from their spouses if they if they want to discard them. They want to leave you in a worse position than you are in the first place when they want to get rid of you. It's very deeply rooted from a place of insecurity. So you want to find people who already love themselves, because when somebody already loves themselves, they don't have anything to prove to you, right? They don't have anything to prove. Maturity isn't found in an underdeveloped mind. Siki, I'd also love to talk to you. I'd love to have a connect with you and 07 Mano. That is that is that is profound. Maturity can be found in an underdeveloped mind. You know, we have this. I went. Some people just grow old, but they never mature up, right? Because they never take time to develop their mind. 100%. I 100% agree with you. Because you might think like maturity is found in old age. As people get older, they become wiser. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen with some people, because some people do not take time to develop their nervous system, to develop their mind, to enlighten themselves. And and I think it's high time that, you know, the people that want to develop and to develop their mind and to grow, right, we need to start finding each other on the planet. Because a lot of time you will find somebody, they try to develop themselves, whether it's financially, is emotionally, and then they end up looking for a partner based on very superficial things, like just their looks, or and then they end up picking the wrong partner, and then they end up like undoing everything that they have built, right? Because now they chose somebody for either financial reasons, or they chose somebody for their looks, or whatever superficial thing that they got going on. And and this person never wanted to develop their mind. You decide that they have decided to develop their mind because you see them as beautiful and you see them that they have money. But you decide in your mind, you project this image of maturity towards them, but they are not like that. You know, like when I chose my job, for example, when I decided, when they gave me an offer and I decided to take my job, you know, you would think like my boss would be mature, because okay, you chose me to come work for your job, so you think that they will treat you with respect because they want you to work there. They gave you the job. So if you're choosing me to come work for you, I'm thinking you're also choosing to respect me as I do the job because you want to keep me. But that is me projecting. Maybe this person, it thinks that they can buy people with money, and that is what I saw with my boss, right? He thought like, oh, I could buy you with money so I can treat you however I want, right? And for me, that does not work. It really doesn't work. Every time I have ever walked away from a place is because they did not treat me with respect, or they thought that I could take it, and I don't. I don't have the ability to take disrespect from anybody. And before I used to protest, but as I get older, I decided I don't want to protest to anybody. I'm just gonna walk away. Like, I'm just gonna boss up and make myself very scarce. And that is, you know, that is one way to deal with people. That's how I choose to do it. I choose to walk away quietly and very quickly. So, you know, yeah. So right, you know, isn't that crazy? Okay, I think it will. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. When I was refreshing my camera, because I thought I was muted, I accidentally muted myself. Anyway, I was talking about the nervous system, right? The way Mano was saying, like, you realize that everybody has a nervous system. I have a nervous system, you have a nervous system. And so you don't have to buy people with money, because people have a nervous system that and the nervous system responds our nervous system responds to each other. So if I use kind words, if I use a gentle tone, if I use if I talk to you in a respectful manner, naturally you're going to respond to me in that same manner, right? Because I'm being respectful. Naturally you will mirror that. You will mirror that connection. You're going to mirror that. And you can control people by being in control of your nervous system, by being the one who chooses to stay in balance, to stay in homeostasis, to stay calm, right? That is why calm and silence equals power. Some people just walk in a room and you know that that person is more powerful than you because of the calm that they exude. That's why you have to meditate if you want to be calm. And if you want to be powerful, you gotta be meditating. Hope you're having a good day and all is well, but you don't know what you are talking about. I don't know. How can you come to my channel and just say shit like that? Why? Why, OG? You just came right here, right now. Like, I don't get you. Right? Yeah, it is. That's why practicing like laughter, happiness, all these things are just easy way to condition your nervous system. The way you love yourself best is really, really understanding how to regulate your nervous system, how to stay happy. Guys, I love you, but I gotta go. I have a coffee date. I'm going to see my friend for coffee. We're gonna talk. Um, but I did want to come live because I haven't been live the last few days. And I wanted to connect with you. We will keep talking about self-love. Well, it's like, it's just coffee. Let's just say coffee. I want to know, I would like, you can write me an email at monica@posttraumaticbliss.com. You see my channel is called Post Traumatic Bliss. So if you want to email me, 07 Mano Cyclides. You can also email me at Monica at posttraumaticbliss.com. I'm trying to see. I'll make sure I'll change my I'll change my my LinkedIn banner so that it includes my email. And then you can email me, and then we can look for a time that we can do, we can do a video on self-love. I love, to get to know you guys, talk to you, talk about self-love. People here on my channel, there are people that I love to talk to and connect with, because we are all learning, we are all growing, and we all want to make, we create the world that we want to live in, right? And when we start loving ourselves and we start choosing ourselves and respecting ourselves, guess what? That energy reverberates into the entire universe, and it says how we want to be treated as humans, right? And it goes into people's offices, it goes into the work environment, it goes to hospitals, it goes into our families, it goes into the government levels. We decide when we love ourselves how we want to be treated, what we are going to stand, what we are not going to stand. And when people start going at a loss because they didn't treat us well, right? For example, like if I go to the supermarket and I saw that they were treating somebody with disrespect, I would not shop there anymore, right? And then we start sending messages to the universe, into the financial world, how we want to be treated, and we change the world that way. We change the world that way, right? It all starts with acknowledging yourself and loving yourself. And when you're able to love yourself, you are able to see yourself in others, and you're able to treat others with dignity and respect. And that energy, flows into the universe. I know 07 Mano, I know you love yourself and you love me and you love everything in the universe, because it's all beautiful and we are all one. I love you too. You're beautiful in and out. Before I go, we are going to say the blessing. I learned this blessing when I was learning meditation. So we are going to say this blessing. May you be happy and live with a joyful heart. And may you be healthy and live with a body that gives you energy. And may you be safe from all sorts of inner and outer harm. And may you live with the ease that comes with well-being. I love you so much. God loves you. You love yourself. And love is all there is. So take care. Happy Valentine's. I love you. Bye.